Alright, this video is going to be probably the hardest video I've ever had to make in my life, and as such, I want to make a few things very clear at the start. I don't intend to expose this person. I have their information, and if I wanted to, I probably could. However, I don't have the chat logs as my Discord account was banned back 2 to 3 years ago, and as such, I probably couldn't get the evidence against him if I tried, other than the evidence I have from recently when they've attempted to contact me again. Though that doesn't mean in any way that I don't believe they should be held to justice for what they did. Instead, it means that sadly I couldn't if I wanted to. Also, another thing, this situation is very serious to me. I'd appreciate if it didn't get mocked in any way, and also I'd appreciate if people actually heard me out in full for what I had to say about my experiences, as towards the end, the situation does end up getting better, as I got out of the situation I was in. There'll be a fundraiser on the right of the screen if you want to go donate to support other victims similar to me that have experienced similar things. I'd appreciate that donation a lot, and I'm also going to leave some helpful links in the description. If you are a victim or believe you're being currently taken advantage of by anyone for any reason, please do contact help. If you don't trust your family, go to an anonymous website or go to the police. Please do speak to someone, because when you talk, it gets better. If you never speak out, you'll never escape this situation. Try your best to get out of what you're going through, as in no way is what's happening to you justified. If you believe in any way that you've been manipulated, taken advantage of, or abused, speak to someone. With all of that out of the way, I'd like to start this story. But before I do, trigger warnings for grooming, manipulation, sexual abuse, all of that stuff. Okay? I hope that that's understood. Let's get into it. When I was 13, I was a huge fan of Minecraft. I started playing it at the start of my YouTube channel, actually. I made a lot of content where I was recording on my phone around that age, and basically I just had a bunch of fun enjoying Minecraft as a game on a whole. I started getting involved in modding communities like the Hexit community and the Techit communities, and I ended up starting playing on servers and joining Skype calls with people on those servers, getting to know them, and having a bunch of fun with people in that community. Basically just enjoying my childhood like most kids do nowadays, now with the internet being so open, making online friends and such, as most people do. One day I came across one person that played on these servers and seemed really nice. I started talking to them and we ended up adding each other on Skype. We had a few conversations there and I got to know them quite well. We had a few calls, we made a few friends, and I actually really liked this person. However, nowadays, every time I see a DM from them, all I feel is disgust. This person, one day, sent me a message offering me one simple proposal. That proposal being that if I sent them a nude photo of myself, they would provide me Steam cards to allow me to buy games. To which I obviously said I didn't want to, till they offered me $200. Their messages often very quickly turned very, very, very threatening, and as such, I felt kind of forced to do what they said. I felt like if I didn't, they might harm me in any way, and I saw that kind of money as something almost unobtainable at that time, and I felt like I could really use that money to, enjoy my childhood. So I thought, it's just a nude photo, who cares? And while I tell most people that I only ever sent them fake images from Google, that isn't entirely true. I definitely did, at points, send them photos of myself, which I wish I never shared with anyone, and I wish I didn't send to them. This was someone I thought I could trust as a friend. They offered me money, and even when I told them no, they kept asking again and again and again, raising the amount of money they were willing to offer me. So even though some of the images I sent them were fake, some of them were real, some of them were genuine photos of me, which I wish I never sent to anyone. They started very quickly trying to develop an actual relationship with me, trying to get to date me, trying to get to know me quite well, trying to convince me on what they knew was my sexuality, and trying to get me to meet them and move in with them, saying that they were willing to offer me a place in their house. And while a lot of what I said to them was false information that I fed them, because I was afraid that if I gave them anything true about me, they would take that information and run with it, I know one thing for sure. They knew my age, they knew what they were trying to do to me. I've informed them several times since, in the past few years, and every time they have excused that behavior, trying to defend themselves with a huge list of excuses that simply are unforgivable. Overall, very disgusting person that I wish I never engaged with. I felt trapped within my relationship with this person. I felt like I couldn't really talk to anyone about it. I felt like because the people around me in their friend group were telling me that it was okay, that I had to believe it was okay, and that there was nothing I could do to possibly get out in that situation because I was the one at fault for sending them photos of myself. I felt like because they offered me money, it was my fault for accepting it. It was my fault for being greedy enough to take $200 when it was given to me in a time where I'd never seen that type of money before. Until one day, I came to my senses. I realized what was genuinely going on. I don't even know why it hit me. I think maybe I'd had like a lesson in school that brought it to my attention, brought this type of behavior to my attention, and taught me that in this situation, I would still be the victim. I don't know what exactly happened, but one day I realized what was going on, and I blocked their account, hoping that they would never speak to me again. I called them out on the disgusting freak that they were, and I blocked them. That was supposed to be the end of my conversations with them. That was until I unblocked them. I began to doubt what I'd experienced, and I began to excuse their behavior. Oh, maybe they didn't know my age. Oh, maybe they misunderstood. Oh, maybe that this was okay. Maybe it was still my fault. So I unblocked them. I started speaking to them again. I started playing games with them again. I got to know them again. And then I blocked them again. And this happened over and over and over, where I kept blocking and unblocking them. And even to this day, I still get messages from them on different platforms where they're constantly asking me to speak to them again, or all of this varying degree of things that they keep sending me. And that scares me. That genuinely scares me, that this person still follows my platforms, they still engage with some of my content, leaving comments. It's terrifying that they're still watching me to this day, despite not speaking to them for almost 4 years. They're still following me on my platforms, they're still stalking me socially, and I feel afraid of that. Luckily, they live in America, and I doubt they could find me if they tried. Though it scares me that one day if my information does become public, this person could end up hunting me down. I've even had accounts, which I believe are his, reach out to me in recent times and start offering me money for Steam games, start trying to get to know me again, trying to build up a dependency for me, trying to get me to share accounts with them so that they can try and lead me into a need to stay talking to them, which is really creepy in itself, and I have good reason to believe it's likely them again. However, I couldn't prove that for certain. This person, to this day, has a terrible effect on my mental health, and it's awful that I probably can't do anything to call them out other than make a video where I don't even mention their name, because I feel like if I mention their name, they'll contact me again, and I'll have to go through everything I experienced before once again. I know that a lot of people say that they'll never be a victim, or that they know the signs, or they've been educated as to how to avoid these situations. But I promise you, when you're in that situation where you either need money, or where you think that what they're doing is okay, you can be very easily taken advantage of, and very easily it can spiral out of control, and you feel like you're the only one to blame. So, if you have experienced something like this, speak out about it. To this day, I make a lot of videos talking about people like this, mainly because I want to, in my own way, get justice against these sort of people. I have a very, very, very obvious hatred for anyone that would commit this type of behavior, and as such, I tend to focus my content around calling out these type of people. Although I've never showed the confidence to speak up about my own story, which is my own fault. And as such, I decided to speak today. I decided, for the first time in my life, I decided to come out and talk about what happened. Talk about honestly what happened to me. Anyway, I've decided to leave some very important and very helpful links in the description. I'd recommend that if you do believe you're a victim, you go check them. I'd appreciate if at least one of you watching this video could donate some money towards a charity that helps provide help against things like this, helps spot these signs, helps safeguard children, and helps protect them from this type of behavior. I want people that have been in similar situations to me to know very clearly that they are not at fault for what happens to them. No matter what the other person tells you, they're still taking advantage of you. Even while I record this audio, I'm still trying to excuse their behavior, saying, well, maybe it's still my fault. But I know deep down it's not. I know deep down what they did was wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this video helps. It's not an easy one to make. It's a very difficult video. I know it may seem quite easy to just talk about it, oh, it was in the past, but it's not easy to talk about experiences with people in your real life. It's so difficult to do that. I don't know if I'll ever make another video about this person again. Maybe I will if they attempt to contact me again. I don't know at this point. Thank you for watching. Peace.